miss you, but then again.
Watch out on WOCA 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're here on this MAGA Friday with my co-host Ann Vandersteel. Ann, how are you today, my dear?
Girl, you stole my line. It is MAGA Friday, that is for sure. We have so much great stuff happening right now, and I got to say, it feels like the spotlight's turning on Florida with some of the good news.
Yeah.
SCOTUS overturning that ridiculous decision to allow felons to vote in the state of Florida. I mean, seriously? What are we doing here? How does our own government allow that to happen? But thank goodness the Supreme Court saw through that atrocity. You know, we just got a lot to kick off.
Well, it's a beautiful thing because, when we look at all these folks that are being allowed to come out of prison that have been in there for murder, for rape, for sexually abusing little children, and all this stuff because of covert, and then they try to throw people in like Roger Stone, for a process crime and other folks. It is insane. So I'm delighted to hear that the United States Supreme Court still, we have some sense somewhere left in this nation, because that's ridiculous. They haven't paid for their crimes, and they haven't really all done their time for their crime, so to speak.
Right.
So
right.
I just absolutely applaud that decision, big time. I'm with you on that one, girlfriend.
It's interesting. It's the same old, because, three of the court's more liberal justices, and we know who they are, Sonia Sotomayor, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and Elena Kagan, they all dissented on this opinion, right? So when you start to look at this stuff contextually, first we had the Russia hoax and the Mueller investigation, Ukraine hoax, impeachment hoax, essentially, because that was a joke. And then, of course, the China virus, and then they locked us in our homes. They are forcing us to wear masks, and there's a big hullabaloo here in Florida about that. I was on the phone with one of my activist friends this morning, and a terrible story we'll get into in a minute. But they're basically pitting good Americans against good Americans, and they're using the fake news media apparatus of the DNC to do it. They are misprogramming all of us and giving us these statistics, which, if anybody were to take an hour of their day and educate themselves on what the masks are doing to them, they would realize it's not helping them any more than it's harming them. And the only people that should be locked in their homes are the ones that are sick, because that's what you do when you have the flu. You don't circulate, you stay home, you get better. And they've really just done such a disservice. So the fact that the Supreme Court stepped up and overturn this is just it's a bellwether that we aren't going to take this, because they're trying to throw everything at us to allow mail-in voting by locking us in our homes. And the Supreme Court's decision takes one of the legs of that three-legged stool out from the left, which is trying to overtake the election and steal it, frankly, so they can continue down the path of graft, corruption, raping and pillaging around the world, and padding their coffers with their international banking cabal and the human trafficking profit center. This is what they're trying to do. It's just incredible what we're seeing happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you, here in Florida, this is such an atrocity. I just listened to Congressman Brian Mast. He spoke so eloquently on this, because here, not too far from where I'm at, in Orlando, we had not one but two hospitals that reported 100%, or one reported 96% positive. The other one reported 76% positive. And the two numbers, when they went and when they got caught, they said, oh, no, well, it was really only 9%. And then the other one said, well, no, it was only 6%. But meanwhile, they have everyone throughout that area in full panic mode and fear that they must put this mask on. That is the worst thing that anyone can do. Mm-hmm. You are breathing your own carbon monoxide into your body, back in. The human body is not made to do that. We exhale, and what we're exhaling from our body is healthy for us, not to be breathing it back in, because it has been proven over and over. CDC has admitted to their mistakes. in regards to the mask. Please, I even hate to say the name, Fauci, Dr. Fauci there. I don't know. Jesus, he's flip-flopped 4, 5, 6 times. How many times? 10 times? Well, who knows on what day what this guy's going to say.
That's
but the one thing that we do know is that, the American people need to stop being fooled by these fake numbers. I just got I forgot to tell you this. I received a message from a friend of mine who he and his wife had gotten onto a line. Now, this is personal people I know. They got onto the line to take the test. It took too long, right? So they left, but they had already registered their name. They go home. They never took the test. Never, ever took the test. They got home and received a notice that they test positive. They never tested.
Yep.
They never took the test. This is happening all over the state. So, I encourage people to be vigilant in regards to, wash your hands. You should be doing that anyway. Okay?
That's
Good
right.
hygiene. You
That's
should
right.
be doing that anyway. But don't let yourself be fooled by the falseness, the falsehoods that are being told. It is tragically, painfully obvious that they're doing this to fudge the numbers so that we can live in fear and not vote on election day. And that is wrong. That is wrong.
Yeah.
Anyone that is going along and encouraging people to vote by mail is in complete opposition of our president, of anyone who, and I don't care what party you're from, it makes no difference. This kind of fear-mongering is wrong. And anyone that's doing that, you can look right at them and say, you're in complete opposition of this country, my president, and everything that we stand for. Because they're liars, and they're trying to manipulate for their own selfish benefit and go against our president.
Right. That's exactly right, Annie. I mean, we're seeing it unfold right before our eyes. Even USA Today, we know this not to be a conservative paper. We know they like to publish a lot of big headlines. Well, this big headline grips everybody when it tells you that Florida reported 100% positive COVID-19 tests from some of the labs. Even so, Lee County, the health hospital system there, is reporting that the laboratory testing of potential COVID-19 cases has shown really an overall positivity rate of about 18%, despite the state report showing that all the people coming in for testing at some of its labs have the novel coronavirus. So this is just, the numbers are all over the map. You see Dr. Fauci taking off his mask as soon as the cameras stop rolling, or so he thinks. The cameras stop rolling. And, just yesterday, one of my very best friends, you know her, and I want to put her on blast on the air, but she's a very big conservative activist, and she's out all the time. She worked very hard to get Brian Mast and President Trump elected in 2016, and she's going to do the same this year. She went to her favorite hair salon yesterday, and out of respect, even though she doesn't like to wear the mask, she put it on. She's an N95. She put it on. She walked in. She was getting a manicure and a pedicure. The manicurist said, it's okay, you can take it off, because the manicurist wasn't wearing one. She was behind the glass, the plexiglass shield. So then she went into a private room for her pedicure, and the pedicurist said, don't worry about it. The owner of the salon came in and went mental on her. Now, I've known the owner of the salon for years, too. She has, too. She sent him tons of business. And he berated her and told her she could get out if she wasn't going to wear the mask. The pedicurist was mortified. My friend was devastated because she considers this person a friend. But this is what's happened. We've lost our sense of reason and rationality, and we don't look at things objectively. No one's reading and understanding what's really happening. They're just seeing headlines and the fake news sound bites because that's what they have playing in the background, and they're being programmed like MK Ultra patients from the CIA to believe you have to wear a mask. Frankly, if you believe the mask works so well, then if I'm not wearing it but you are, you should feel protected. Why do I need to have one? So it's just the whole thing is so upside down. And frankly, Annie, this is so indicative of what the brown shirt Nazis did back in World War II. It's the same thing all over again. They are beating us down into oblivion. And if you're not on their team or in their club, you're the one that gets ridiculed, and you're the one that gets harassed and attacked and assaulted And it's just, I mean, I feel like, the MAGA movement has been a big tent for many, many people. And there's video after video of people that are, look like radical Democrats that are waking up to the fallacy of what the left has been spewing for years and are coming on board and saying, you cannot believe that I'm changing and I'm supporting President Trump, and here's why. My eyes have been opened. I see that they're lying to me. And once that happens, that red pill is so big, they can't choke on it. They manage to swallow it, but guess what? They're running around red-pilling all their friends because they just realize this has been one giant lie. One giant lie.
Absolutely, and I can tell you something that talk about voter registration. As you know, Trump Team 2020 Florida is a third-party voter registrant. We're registered with the Florida State Department and Division of Elections, and we have just yesterday, one day, 17 Democrats in Central Florida came into our headquarters and changed their registration to become Republican. This is happening all over the state with our chapters, and all of our folks so hard, they work so hard, and I just always want to give them a kudos to every single volunteer, every single member of all of our different chapters, every single supporter. And there's so many people that are calling me and saying, Annie, we just loved everything that you did and you're doing. And like, for instance, on the president's birthday, June 14th, jeepers, we had all of our chapters across the whole state of Florida, and we had thousands of boats out there from the Panhandle, Jacksonville, Tampa, all the way down to Miami. We had thousands of motorcycles, thousands of trucks. So now the phone calls that I'm getting are, okay, well, Annie, I don't have a truck, and I don't have a boat, and I don't have a motorcycle. And I'm like, well, do you have a dog? Right. Believe me, you're going to see the most amazing, amazing statewide event, again, of our wonderful Trump Team 2020 Florida chapters and all of the organizations that work with us and that we support as well, which one of them is the Big Dog Ranch Rescue here in the state of Florida, that the amazing work that Lori Simmons does for this organization. They're the ones that, they went and got all the dogs from when Maria hit Puerto Rico and then Virgin Islands and all these different places. And so we're going to have an amazing, amazing event across the whole state of Florida. So if you have a dog, folks, and you're out there listening to me, you just call 561-779-3535, and I will direct you to all of the dog parks across the state of Florida that are participating with this, because every county has a dog park now. And we're going to get out there for folks that don't have a boat, don't have a truck, and don't have a motorcycle, but want to be involved. The momentum is huge, Ann. It's huge.
It is. It is. I actually was at a Blue Lives Matter parade a week ago on Saturday, and it was fantastic. We had a massive turnout here in South Florida, in Jupiter. I mean, I've just got to tell you, the love for the law enforcement community down here was never more vibrant and more apparent. And, of course, the Jupiter Police Department, the Cuesta Police Department were thrilled to see. And I was part of a Jeep brigade that great community pillar down here organized from his business. And we took off and went and did the whole parade with the folks that were walking. And it was, nationally recognized that, yes, by and large, we support law and order. I didn't see anybody wearing masks. People were, walking peacefully. We were showing support for law enforcement. There was no hate. There was a lot of cheering going on. So just the pervasive media that's constantly being pushed. And I'll mind you, Palm Beach County is a blue county. We're not a Republican county. So the constant media that's being pushed that says,
the northern part of Palm Beach County is. That's all we have in that Palm Beach County. And that's
right.
Why
but I mean,
anyone that's listening, there's many people, and, the beautiful part about it is that here we are in a Central Florida radio station. And, of course, because we also have the WWW, which means the World Wide Web. And I can't tell you the amount of people that listen to our show that appreciate our content. And so kudos to you because, I don't do, people often say, how do you do all the things you do? Do you ever sleep? I said, no, I don't like sleeping anyway, but I don't do it by myself.
We'll do that later.
Yeah, we'll do that later. When I get to heaven, I can sleep all I want, baby.
That's right.
But right now, I'm here to do God's will and God's work, and we have to work hard at it, especially in these times, because
Right.
and so folks are just really enthusiastic, and they're talking about all the different ways and things they could do, and I think it's wonderful. It truly is, but we've got our work cut out for us, because I was talking about Northern Palm Beach County. That's a perfect example. Perfect example. We have an amazing person running for county commission in the northern part of Palm Beach County. Her name is Maria Marino, and she has, she's been the mayor of the city of Palm Beach Gardens. She's involved in so many organizations and so many boards and so much community involvement. I can't even go into it around it too much. But this is the kind of beautiful person that we need to represent, because we have these folks that listen. 70+% of the folks in Palm Beach County, by referendum, voted for term limits, and all of that was because mainly one person named Karen Marcus that was in there for 34 years, doling the money in from the taxpayers.
That's right.
And now she has the audacity to come and try and run for that seat again, because a little bit of shenanigans, I'll say, of how the county attorney wrote this particular verbiage up, which is different than the state. But all that being said, I can tell you that people are not stupid, and people don't want people in there and that goes for both sides, because if you noticed, about 9 different elections of Republicans that were in there, and I'm talking now more on a national level, for 30, 40 years, way too long. They're losing those seats left and right to these wonderful, young, energized, good, constitutional conservatives that are coming and saying, no, enough of that. And they're all for term limits as well. They have they have integrity. They have integrity. And when I speak of integrity, I think of Congressman Ted Yoho all the time, right on our neck of the woods. And that gentleman, he kept his word. He said, I'm only going to be in there for a certain time when he won his congressional seat. And he stepped aside and did the right thing. I can't speak enough about, the kudos to him. Because these are the people we need, people that are honorable, people that have integrity, people that have ethics.
Just getting back to what you were talking about with respect to Karen Marcus, right? So a 28-year career politician who got a big check when she left after the voters put the mandate up that they wanted term limits. She got a big payout, and then she was paid very handsomely on pension from that for the last year since she's been out of office. Was able to get, run again because, like you said, of some shenanigans. But you've got to ask yourself, why would Palm Beach County voters want to support someone who was a Democrat, and the only reason that she changed to Republicans was because she had to in order to run for the seat that she ran for back, 28 years ago. She supports liberal policy. She likes big government. She likes higher taxes. And she's even donated to liberal candidates, and including stepping up to causes like taking our guns away, Annie. These are all the things that are hallmarks of a liberal person, not a Republican, and this is what we've got to make sure we get across to the voters, not only here in Palm Beach County, but we're talking about people that do not want to stand up to term limits, and this is happening all over the country. So you're right, these young candidates, I interviewed one last night, Luke Negron out of Pennsylvania. What an unbelievable young guy. In his mid-20s, he understands the issues, and he's all about term limits. He's challenging a 40-year incumbent. This is what we're seeing happen. People are sick of the status quo.
They're winning.
They're winning. And so we just need to continue to energize the base and educate the constituents out there to say, hey, we don't have to settle for what you're seeing and what you're seeing in the fake news. Don't let that narrative make you think that that's the way it is going to be. No, not at all. It's what they want you to think it is. It's not necessarily what it is. So open your eyes, do a little research, and start looking at both sides of the equation. If you remember math, you have an equal sign, and obviously what's on one side, when you subtract it, should negate the other side, right? You remember when you move things around? So there's an opposing and there's an opposite and opposing forces. You need to look at both sides of that equal sign and say, which side do I want to be on? Because I've got to make sure we're keeping things in balance here. And frankly, the media is doing everything to throw everything out of balance so that you believe a narrative and act accordingly. They don't want you thinking for yourself and going, what really makes common sense here? Well, what's best for me and my family?
Yes.
And if anybody thinks putting a mask on and living off a government check of $1,200 per person is going to get you through the month, good luck. That's not how America was built, folks. That's not how America was built.
No, it's not. But just to give another little quick wrap up on this Karen Marcus, which I just absolutely, and I've known her for a lot of years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but she was forced out, and then she became a lobbyist, and now she wants back in for more.
Right.
She's the reason why term limits exist. And you said 28 years, but it's actually 38 years. Cashing in on taxpayer-funded paychecks for 38 years.
Amazing.
Yeah,
great job if you can get it.
Yeah, imagine that. We could just put her picture up and Pelosi's picture up and Maxine Waters and all those others that have been in there forever.
That's right.
That's right. Wonder how do they go in there with $174,000 paycheck and become millionaires the first year? Well, when you have to look, you have to always look. Always follow the money. Who's funding,
That's right.
These people? Well, big developers, lots of funding has been going, but you see, Marcus, as a lobbyist for developers, she pushes plans that convert wetlands into mansions and gated communities. I watched this happen.
That's right.
I watched this happen. All that beautiful, when I was a young girl, and we used to ride our mini bikes and things like that in areas that were fun. Oh, no. It was her that approved and turned that all for her buddies, her developers, into these gated communities. Developers who profited are the big donors of her campaign.
That's right. Just
like Pelosi, just like Maxine Waters, and just like the rest of them.
That's right.
No, we don't need that. We don't need that. And I mention this because, there are a lot of people that have left Palm Beach County, and they're up in the Ocala, Gainesville, and they're up in these areas to get away from that crap. But stop running away from it. I understand that people move out. I get it. Trust me. I'm 40-plus years from Palm Beach County. I've had my place up in Ocala for 20-some-odd years as well. For me personally, it's very easy for me to logistically be located in Central Florida so that I can get to all my chapters around the state.
Mm-hmm.
But the folks down there need to understand. And so the folks that are up here, this is why I'm talking about it. Call your relatives, call your friends out there, warn them, let them know the importance of this.
That's exactly right. Well, I know we're going to be coming up on a break soon. I want to talk a little bit about South Dakota and Governor Kristi Noem, what she's been doing out there, because she's an extraordinary woman, and I don't think there's any coincidence that President Trump chose to go to Mount Rushmore to celebrate our independence, our country's birthday on July 3rd, and give that incredible speech. I really feel like when you look in context of who the president surrounds himself with, and some of the big, really important people in his administration have been women. He has absolutely put women on a pedestal and given them a big voice, and we're seeing it reflected in candidates around the country that are running in these congressional races that are incredibly articulate and intelligent women that know what they want to do. They know how they need to support their constituents. They're focused on that, but they're also focused on the problem in D.C. and draining the swamp and getting rid of people like AOC and Rashida Tlaib and others that need to just go. Nancy Pelosi and down the line, Dianne Feinstein. These are people that need to go. So I really like to spend on some time when we come back after the break, because I think that Kristi Noem needs to be explored a little bit more, and we need to understand why President Trump went out there, because she's putting out some information right now that is running contrary to the fake news again with this coronavirus and masks. It just goes on and on.
Absolutely. Well, Ann, we're going to go into a commercial break here now. Folks, Stay with us. We got a lot more coming to you on a national level. We Conservative Watch Hour. We'll be right back.
News. I'm Chris Foster. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp banning face mandates in his state and suing Atlanta's mayor for implementing one, tells people they should be wearing one.
It's clear that this fight is far from over. We have come a long way since the pandemic begun, but we also have incredible challenges that remain in front of us.
Nationwide, another 77,000 cases of coronavirus are confirmed, the new daily high, and most Americans say President Trump should be doing more about it.
The Washington Post ABC News poll shows more than half of Americans strongly disapprove of the president's handling of the coronavirus. 38% approve, down 8 points since May. More than 60% of respondents say more needs to be done to stop the spread of the virus. Around 80% say they wear masks when out in public. Requirements to wear masks are rising around the country.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. America's listening to Fox News.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
WOCA. Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you can move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. And I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever.
Right now, MyPillow has a special offer for you. 2 MyPillow premiums for one low price plus free shipping. Each pillow is made in the USA and is machine washable and dryable. Call 800-820-7056 or go to MyPillow.com and use promo code Annie to get 2 MyPillow premiums for one low price plus free shipping. That's 800-820-7056 or go to MyPillow.com, promo code Annie.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Promo code Annie.
WOCA.
Times of clouds and sunshine today with a shower or thunderstorm in spots in the afternoon, high 87 to 91. Cloudy tomorrow with a shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 88 to 91. Sunday, clouds and sunshine with a couple thunderstorms around, high 87 to 91. Monday, cloudy to partly sunny, a thunderstorm possible, high 89 to 93. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Brian May.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
There's a staycation right here in town. It's Super 8 Motel Ocala, right down the road on 40, just west of I-75. And they're pet friendly. Have truck parking, free breakfast,
Yum, yum.
a swimming pool, a kiddie pool, and veterans get 10% off. It's a staycation at Super 8 Ocala. Call today, Super 8 Ocala at 352-629-8794. Again, 352-629-8794.
WOCA.
And welcome back to the Conservative Watch Hour here with my co-host Ann Field on WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM on this MAGA Friday. And here we go.
And away we go is right. You know, we left off at the bottom of the hour with Kristi Noem, governor of South Dakota, who hosted the beautiful July 3rd Independence Day celebration where she opened up and President Trump spoke to a crowd of people. You know, we were watching all of these Black Lives Matter protesters tearing down statues and trashing people's personal property, and, you know, just none of them, of course, are worried about coronavirus or social distancing. Of course, the media had to focus in on this July 4th celebration and criticize. But then you find out from Governor Noem that, you know, the state didn't have any additional uptick of COVID cases after their July 4th get-together there, or on July 3rd, I should be more clear. In fact, they haven't seen any increase in their cases there. Yet other states are claiming to have these ridiculous spikes in these cases, to which we were talking about Florida, Annie, is being now proven to be 1,000% fake news. They're just lying. You know, she's actually now using that information to attract people and businesses to come to her state saying, look, we're open for business. We're a red state. We're solid. We're, you know, income tax favorable, and we don't have a coronavirus problem. What do you want to do, Mr. and Mrs. Business Owner? And they're starting to see an influx of people, of businesses and families. In fact, my husband, Annie, I told you on the break, is like, let's move to South Dakota. He just knows I couldn't hack the winters, but yay, you know, it's definitely enticing. What do you think is going to happen? Hello, Annie?
You there? Adam.
Okay, Annie.
Wow. Okay, I'm here. I got bounced off. I can't.
Am I back? Hey, Adam, I don't think I'm on air. I don't got anybody.
Okay, you should have each other now.
Okay, I'm back. Hello? Annie.
Okay, welcome back to the Conservative Watch Hour here. We apologize for a little bit of technical thing that happens. It happens. Ann, are you there?
I'm here, Annie. All right. I don't know where we got bumped off there, but we were talking about Governor Kristi Noem and the success she's seeing in her state post the July 3rd, July 3rd celebration where she and President Trump, knocked it out of the park in front of thousands of people, and they didn't see an uptick in coronavirus cases in South Dakota whatsoever. Of course, why should we? Because if the left can riot and protest and tear down statues and not worry about COVID and social distancing, the right certainly can peacefully assemble and celebrate this country's great history and birthday and great people like Governor of South Dakota and President Trump. They're doing all the right things to make this country and restore its integrity and law and order. But what's interesting, Annie, is that we're starting to see, and Governor Noem is talking about it, and she's actually pitching her state as a great go-to residency destination and business hub because of the tax favorability and the fact they don't have this corona issue going on. What do you think is going to happen as people around the country start to wake up to the fraud that's been perpetrated? Are they going to start to look around and go, we got to leave our state because of the way we're governed and maybe go and find somewhere more favorable for the rest of our lives and businesses?
Right. I hope not, because quite frankly, kudos to her, because what she's doing, we talk about we have good governors and then we have some bad governors. But what this good governor is doing is that she's not allowing the false numbers and what's happening in Florida right now it's painfully obvious, we have the evidence of it, that these people are reporting false positives.
Mm-hmm.
Because, see, Florida is a battleground state. This is why it's important to understand why this is happening in states like Florida, Texas, another very important battleground state, and Ohio, Pennsylvania. These are all battleground states that all of a sudden, it's all of these battleground states that are having all this 100% positive, 10,000 a day. It's baloney. It's baloney. Mm-hmm. And we know it's baloney. And now that there is an investigation going on and they're running scared, they're saying, we made a mistake. Just like the CDC said, we made a mistake. Well, your mistake, is intentional. And your mistake is absolutely going to try to cost this president his election, and we won't allow that. Now, what we do need is a governor that's going to say, it's baloney, we know it. We've already had Congressman Brian Mast spoke out, and he was on Fox News recently, and yesterday I believe it was, and he is also a co-chair for the Trump campaign, and he said, absolutely not. We've got right on it. They're going to continue their investigations, and what we're going to find is that people, please wake up. This is the China hoax on Florida. Because the way Florida goes is the way the nation goes. They know this. This is why they're doing this. Okay, so they're in cahoots with the DNC and so many others that we cannot allow ourselves to be, because let me tell you something. If you think they give a rat, you know what? If somebody else dies in Florida, no, they don't. But the more that you put that mask on and you are breathing your own carbon monoxide into your body, you are poisoning yourself.
That's right.
You are not helping yourself or anyone else.
That's right. Annie, you hit the nail on the head. You hit the nail on the head when you said Florida being a battleground state, because ironically enough, the two other states that we're seeing this supposed spike in coronavirus, which, by the way, the virus dies at 47 degrees, are Texas and Arizona, which clearly are now becoming battleground states. And they are. The Sun Belt. It's over 100 degrees every day in all three of these states. How is this virus existing? And now we know these tests are completely botched, and they're intentionally coming back positive. I told my husband, who had to get a test because he's got to travel overseas for business in a few weeks, I said, honey, your test is going to come back positive, even though we know you don't have it. And I'm waiting because we're supposed to get the results back next week, and I'm just waiting to see if they're going to give him a positive reading, and then we're going to have to go somewhere else and get tested because we got to travel up north for a family vacation, and where we're staying, they actually want a test in order to enter the community, so we have to get another test. And it's a blue state. I guarantee you when we do a rapid test up in the Northeast, it'll be negative because it's not battleground. They're blue, and they're going to not change. They're blue. It is what it is.
Right.
So,
right.
It's,
well,
anyway,
listen,
I know we're coming up on a break, Annie. We have another commercial break, don't we, coming up?
Yes, we do. We have a commercial break coming up right now.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you can move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. And I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever.
Right now, MyPillow has a special offer for you. 2 MyPillow premiums for one low price plus free shipping. Each pillow is made in the USA and is machine washable and dryable. Call 800-820-7056 or go to MyPillow.com and use promo code Annie to get 2 MyPillow premiums for one low price plus free shipping. That's 800-820-7056 or go to MyPillow.com, promo code Annie.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Promo code Annie.
Times of clouds and sunshine today with a shower or thunderstorm in spots in the afternoon, high 87 to 91. Cloudy tomorrow with a shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 88 to 91. Sunday, clouds and sunshine with a couple of thunderstorms around, high 87 to 91. Monday, cloudy to partly sunny, a thunderstorm possible, high 89 to 93. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Brian May.
WOCA.
And welcome back to the Conservative Watch Hour here with my co-host Ann Vanderfield of SteelTooth.com on WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM. We are the source, and we have the true facts in the source. So, Miss Ann, let's continue to talk about what we were talking about.
Yeah, well, you know what? I kind of think we beat that dead horse. I think people are wising up. The coronavirus is nothing but a hoax. Yes, there are people that die from it. That's not the hoax aspect, but just like the flu, just like anybody that has a lot of comorbidities, you don't want to go around if there's any kind of flu or virus running around the country. You want to stay away from it because you're far more susceptible. But the rest of the stuff we're seeing is strictly to sway the election, make you stay home so they can pass mail-in ballots, which brings me to our next topic. On the campaign trail, we've seen a major shift. Brad Parscale, who was the campaign manager and the digital marketing guru that brought President Trump into the 20th century with technology, has been taken out of the campaign management role and been replaced with Bill Stepien. And most notably, Jason Miller, who was with the campaign previously, is back on the team to run and navigate the rest of this campaign season for the president. Very excited to see these two gentlemen together. And Brad will remain as an advisor doing digital, which is what he does best. But frankly, we need true strategists now in this very vital part of the campaign season to guide it to a good, safe landing and help continue to wake up the rest of the country to the frauds that have been pushed on these poor people that are supporting these monsters in tax-paid positions to basically abuse its own constituents. So, any comments on all this?
Oh, I'd love to. Are you kidding? I can tell you that we are absolutely delighted in the state of Florida right now. We wish Brad Parscale well. He will be just fine in the area where he works best, IT. But I can tell you, here in the state of Florida, not only did we bring on a national level Jason Miller and Bill Stepien, which will be the campaign manager nationwide. But in the state of Florida, we brought back Susie Wiles. Well, let me just say thank you. Woohoo, baby. You got that right.
That's
Hallelujah.
right.
Thank you, Lord.
The band's getting back together. We love it.
Listen, I'll tell you, you know that our Trump team Trump prayer line every morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, and we've been praying for Jesus to bring back the angel, bring us an angel that we need, and he did. He answered our prayers, and we love to be witness and testimony when the Lord answers our prayer. And Susie Wiles is an extremely, very competent political operative she knows what she's doing. Listen, there's some, it's just like anyone else. Some people love you, some people hate you. Who cares? One thing that I know right now is that under the leadership of Susie Wiles, under the leadership of Bill Stepien, and under the leadership of Jason Miller, we are rapidly going to make a difference in Florida, make a difference in Texas, make a difference in Arizona, and make a difference in Ohio, make a difference in Pennsylvania, and all these battleground states that we need to take and do right now. And I can tell you that since this happened, the numbers have just trickled up. And see, here's another thing. These poll numbers. Okay, poll numbers. Have you ever been polled, Danny? Has anybody ever called you and said, No, I don't know anyone. And I know a lot of people, and you know a lot of people. Not one. And I put this out there. I said, I'd like anyone. I don't do this on social media. But no one has been polled. So these polls, of course, are the same polls that said in 2016, as I was working my hide off then, and I'm looking at these polls, and I'm like, there's got to be something wrong here, because that's not the sentiment I'm feeling when I have 60 people a day at the minimum in my office, over and over and over every day, and we're averaging 2,700 phone calls every single day, and we're doing this with people, not robocalls. And the enthusiasm and everything else, this is impossible. Well, it was proven and showed, because the polls that they said then Mr. Trump was going to lose every single state, and he's done, and all this other madness. And what did we do? We creamed them.
That's
and
right.
We creamed them again. And we creamed them again.
Annie, and I just want to highlight something, because this is important. I'm going to brag on you a minute, so just try to make sure your head sits out the door when we're done with this radio show here, my friends. But listen to this. The key to winning, and you always say this, is you have to have more votes than the other team. And the way you get more votes is you have to have more voters. And that's what Trump Team 2020 Florida, which you run, has been so busy doing. You've been doing the job of the Republican Party of Florida now for the last 2 election cycles with the organization you have, Trump Team 2020 Florida. You are actually out there doing the work of registering voters all over the state to make sure that we have more on our team voting than the opponent, so that we win and deliver Florida for the president again in 2020. Why is it that we are seeing so much dissension and pushback from the Republican Party of Florida with the fake news articles that keep getting pushed out through their surrogates that are running campaigns across the state of Florida? What is going on with this? Why is the drama? Why can't we just get on the same page and go, hey, we support the president? Or maybe they just don't?
Well,
what's going on, Annie?
Thank you for mentioning that, Ann, because, I can tell you, we have fake news, and then we have fake Republicans. And sadly enough, in the state of Florida, and it's not just Florida, believe me, I'm helping my colleagues in Texas. I'm helping my colleagues in Pennsylvania, especially. We've done a really good job in New Jersey. And New York, even, believe it or not, and we won a congressional seat in New York we never thought we would, and we did it. And what I'm doing is sharing, instead of, reinventing the wheel, how I do what I do with Trump Team 2020 Florida, which is outside of the realm of the Republican Party of Florida, because the Republican Party of Florida, and I'm sure I'll get backlash for this, doesn't matter to me whatsoever, because I'm here to do one thing, stand in the gap with my Savior Jesus Christ, and protect and do God's will and God's work each and every day to protect this nation and my president. Outside of that, the only thing that comes before that is my Savior Jesus Christ. Outside of that, I don't care what these people say at all. But I praise the Lord every time he brings another angel and he answers our prayers, like Susie Wiles right now. And I know that the governor and whatever, I don't care. That's not my business and not my problem. I'm only praying to my Father each and every day to please save my nation, and put his hand over this land of darkness that has come over in so many different ways. Lord, take it away, Jesus. send me back to the pits of hell where it came from. And I'm going to tell you something. I know I get a little bit emotional sometimes, as I do right now, but sometimes the Holy Spirit speaks for me, and I'm going to let him, because I can't control that. Okay, it is what it is. And right now, we are indeed in a time of crisis where we need to pray for this nation. We need to pray for this nation. We need to pray for the angels that the Lord will bring us and surround us and help us with. And he's done this. And we're moving at rapid pace and numbers. And these poll numbers, that's all fake. That's all
right.
Fake. That's the same way it was in 2015, 2016, 2016, when all said, yes, Mr. Trump was going to lose the whole country and Hillary had this. Well, they never got over it. Just the same way, like Hillary never got over losing, there are certain people in the Republican Party that I have challenged and I have beat, and they can't get over losing. And so, quite frankly, it's sad. It's sad when they have to make up fake stories, lies about me, lies about Mr. Trump. They do the same exact thing. They call Mr. Trump anti-Semite. Mr. Trump is not an anti-Semite. They call me now an anti-Semite. Can you imagine? Yeah. I am the Florida State Director that created Choose for Trump. And I worked so very hard with a wonderful woman, Michelle Terrace Lubin, down. This young, beautiful woman, with her enthusiasm, with her excitement, and she was so afraid. She's Jewish, of course, and she said, Annie, I can't do this. They're beating me up on Facebook. I said, yes, you can, girl. We need to hang in there. We need to continue to do this. Well, look where she is now, and look what we've done. She's got checks. She's doing beautiful. We cannot back down. Never back down. I don't care what they're saying about me, what lies, what stories they're making up. I don't even know. There's a thing out there now about me with something called the Lincoln Project. I don't even know what the Lincoln Project is, but
they're claiming, there's people out there claiming that you managed somebody's campaign in the Florida 21st District. You're not managing anybody's campaign in the 21st District, let alone this gentleman, who I think you met one time in your life, and you don't even know what his platform is. They're just absolutely insane with, I don't know, I guess it's jealousy, Annie? Is that what it is?
It's envy.
Or are they just
envy.
insane?
It is the envy. And jealousy and envy only equals one word, evil. Evil. Because, listen, it happens not all, it happens to me in Marion County when there's a handful of evil little women that go around telling little lies. But thank God that not everyone in Marion County is blind. And they've all come to my, not defense, because I don't need anybody to defend me, because I have my Savior for that. Because I'm doing God's will and God's work. You can't touch this. You can't touch this. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Forget it. You can try all you want, but that's not what God's will and God's work is about. So this is why they're losing at every turn. At every turn. At every turn they will lose, because God is good and God is great always. And sometimes they say to me, well, you're just a God-preaching freak. That I'm a freak because I preach the word of the Lord. Let me tell you something. When you meet your maker, you better remember you said that about me, dude. Or do that.
Oh, Annie. All right. Well, listen, I want to, if I can, I'm going to do a shameless plug for Steel Truth tonight. We are live with an incredible investigative reporter by the name of Liz Crokin, who, by the way, if you don't know who Liz Crokin is, she's been around for many, many years. She's actually been in the White House, and she's been a Hollywood reporter for many years, and she actually learned about and made famous the term Pizzagate. And if anybody doesn't know what Pizzagate is, you are going to be hearing about it more and more as the days and weeks go by, because if you haven't been catching the mainstream media, where Chrissy Teigen, former Sports Illustrated swimsuit model, married to music gentleman John Legend, and they have a child. Chrissy Teigen and Liz Crokin have been in a tiff for a number of years now. Chrissy,
1 minute.
Because I got it. Because of the apparent accusations Liz has made about Chrissy Teigen being a pedophile. So apparently Hollywood has a real problem with pedophilia. Many celebrities have come out and spoken out about it, either been blackballed. But today we're starting to see the masks come off. And Liz Crokin has all of this information and much, much more. We're going to go very deep into some of this stuff. But we're going to talk about these masks. Also, in relation to the occult,
tell me how they reach you. And tell me how they reach you.
SteelTruth.com. SteelTruth.com. 9 p.m. We are live on SteelTruth.com, or go to my YouTube channel, Steel Truth.
Right on. Thank you, my dear. Have a beautiful weekend.
You too, my dear. Good night. Good day, everybody.
News. I'm Chris Foster. Colorado is the latest state to require face masks in public to help stop the spread of coronavirus. A mask mandate in Arkansas starts Monday. In Georgia, Governor Brian Kemp says,
Now, I know that many well-intentioned and well-informed Georgians want a mask mandate. And while we all agree that wearing a mask is effective, I'm confident that Georgians don't need a mandate to do the right thing.
And he's suing Atlanta's mayor over her citywide mask order. Every nationwide poll and most swing state polls have Joe Biden leading President Trump. Counselor to the president, Kellyanne Conway, says about Biden's relative lack of in-person campaigning.
The less Joe Biden is better for Joe Biden. I would note that in other polling, Joe Biden's negatives have increased because we've seen a little bit more of him. I thought he was running for president of the United States, but apparently he's running for governor of Pennsylvania. Because with one exception, he's not left Delaware or Pennsylvania in many, many months.
America's listening to Fox News.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that